As you know, there has been an overwhelming amount of speculation surrounding the possibility of a Red Dead Redemption remake or remaster, and today, we're going to dive deep into the 5 things that this classic game needs to get upgraded. First thing is a big one, visuals. It sounds obvious, but when we talk about visuals in a game, we're not just talking about how pretty the landscapes are or how detailed the character models can be. We're talking about the overall aesthetic of the game, the atmosphere it creates, and how it immerses the player in its world. And let's be honest, Red Dead Redemption nailed this aspect back in the day. The sunsets over the plains, the bustling towns, the dangerous wildlife. It all came together to create a world that felt real and alive. But we're not in 2010 anymore, and the bar has been raised significantly since then. We all know that Red Dead Redemption 2, the prequel to the original game, has set a new standard for visual fidelity in video games. Whether you're playing on the previous generation of consoles, the current generation, or PC, the game's visuals are nothing short of breathtaking. The level of detail in the world, from the individual blades of grass swaying in the wind to the realistic weather effects, is astounding. The character models are incredibly detailed, and the animations are smooth and lifelike. The game's lighting is also top-notch, creating some truly beautiful scenes as the sun rises or sets over the landscape. Now, let's try to imagine all of that, but applied to the world of the original Red Dead Redemption. Imagine riding through the plains of New Austin with that level of detail and realism, the bustling town of Armadillo brought to life with modern graphics and lighting, the dangerous wildlife rendered in stunning detail. It's an exciting prospect, to say the least. Of course, it's not just about making the game look prettier. The improved visuals can also enhance the gameplay and storytelling. More detailed environments can make exploration more rewarding, as there's more to see and discover. More realistic character models and animations can make the characters feel more real and relatable, enhancing the emotional impact of the story. Better lighting can create more dramatic and atmospheric scenes, adding to the overall mood of the game. However, it's important to remember the lessons learned from Rockstar's last foray into remasters with Grand Theft Auto: The Trilogy. The state of the visuals on release left a lot to be desired, and it's crucial that the same mistakes are not repeated with a Red Dead Redemption remake. The visuals need to be more than just a simple upscaling of the original game's graphics. They need to be a complete overhaul, bringing the game in line with modern standards, while still preserving the unique aesthetic and atmosphere of the original. Next thing is even more important than the graphics, and I'm talking about the NPC's interactions. In Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar introduced this feature, and it really added a new level of depth to the game's interactions. This might seem like a small detail, but it had a significant impact on the game's immersion. It made the world feel alive and reactive, and it gave players a way to interact with the world beyond just shooting or riding around. It was a small touch, but it added a lot to the game. Now imagine this feature in a Red Dead Redemption remake. The original game had a rich cast of characters and a vibrant world, but the interactions were relatively limited. You could talk to NPCs, but the conversations were mostly scripted and didn't offer much in the way of player choice. With the greet and antagonize feature, these interactions could become much more dynamic and engaging. Imagine walking into the saloon in Armadillo and being able to strike up a conversation with any of the patrons. You could compliment them on their outfit, ask them about their day, or even pick a fight if you're in the mood for trouble. The NPCs would respond in kind, creating a dynamic conversation that feels natural and immersive. The greet and antagonize feature could also have gameplay implications. For example, in Red Dead Redemption 2, your interactions with NPCs could affect your honor level, which in turn affected how people reacted to you. A similar system could be implemented in a Red Dead Redemption remake, adding an extra layer of depth to the game's morality system. Going further, another interesting part of the game worth upgrading is the outfit customization system. In the original Red Dead Redemption, the outfit system was fairly straightforward. You had a set number of outfits that you could unlock through various means, such as completing missions or challenges. Each outfit had its own unique look, and some even provided gameplay benefits. It was a fun system, but it was also somewhat limited. You couldn't mix and match different pieces of clothing, and your options for customization were relatively limited. Now let's compare that to Red Dead Redemption 2. In the sequel, Rockstar greatly expanded the outfit system. You could now mix and match different pieces of clothing to create your own unique look. You could choose from a wide range of hats, coats, vests, shirts, pants, boots, and more. You could even customize smaller details like your character's facial hair and hairstyle. This level of customization allowed players to express themselves and create a character that truly felt like their own. In Red Dead Redemption 2, different outfits were suitable for different weather conditions. Wearing a heavy coat in the desert desert would cause your character to become overheated, while wearing light clothing in the mountains would leave you freezing. A similar system could be implemented in a Red Dead Redemption remake. I'm sure it would make the game feel way more immersive. Outfit customization could also be tied into the game's reputation system. In the original game, certain outfits would affect how NPCs reacted to you. For example, wearing the Bandito outfit would make you more popular with the Mexican locals, but less popular with law enforcement. A remake could expand on this system, with your choice of clothing affecting not only how NPCs react to you, but also how they perceive you. It's important to remember that outfit customization needs to be implemented in a way that feels natural and fits within the game's setting. The clothing options need to be period appropriate, and the customization system needs to be intuitive and user-friendly. It's a delicate balance, but if done right, it could greatly enhance the player's experience. Now let's delve into something a bit more supernatural. Of course, I'm talking about the Undead Nightmare DLC. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar, Undead Nightmare was a standalone expansion for the original Red Dead Redemption. It took the game's world and characters and threw them into a zombie apocalypse. It was a wild departure from the main game, but it was also a ton of fun. It had a unique blend of horror and humor, and it offered a fresh take on the game's mechanics and story. So, why am I bringing this up? Well, if we're talking about a Red Dead Redemption remake, then Undead Nightmare absolutely deserves to be a part of that conversation. This expansion was a beloved part of the original game, and it would be a shame to see it left out of a remake. With modern graphics and gameplay mechanics, an Undead Nightmare remake could be a truly terrifying and fun experience. Imagine the hordes of undead rendered in stunning detail, the eerie atmosphere enhanced by modern lighting and sound design. What if a remake could expand on the story and mechanics of Undead Nightmare? What if it could introduce new types of undead enemies, new weapons, and new missions? What if it could delve deeper into the lore of the undead outbreak and explore the fates of characters who were left out of the original expansion? These are all possibilities that a remake could explore, adding even more depth and replayability to Undead Nightmare. This DLC was beloved for its unique blend of horror and humor. A remake would need to preserve this tone, balancing the terror of the undead apocalypse with the absurdity of seeing familiar characters and locations in such a bizarre situation. Going further, let's shift our focus to something that's at the heart of any good Western: duels. Now, if you've played the original Red Dead Redemption, you definitely remember them. These were intense one-on-one showdowns where you and your opponent would stand face to face, hands hovering over your holsters, waiting for the right moment to draw your guns and fire. It was a test of speed, accuracy, and nerve, and it was one of the most memorable aspects of the game. So it goes without saying that duels should be a part of any Red Dead Redemption remake. But we're not just talking about including duels as they were in the original game. We're talking about taking this iconic mechanic and making it even better. The duel system in RDR Remake should be more dynamic. Instead of just waiting for a meter to fill up, you could have more control over your character's actions. You could choose when to draw your gun, when to aim, and when to fire. You could even have the option to cheat, risking your honor for a better chance at winning. But let's not stop there. What if a remake could expand on the role of duels in the game? In the original game, duels were mostly standalone events, but what if they could be integrated more deeply into the story and gameplay? I think duels should affect your reputation, opening up new opportunities or closing off others, and there should be special duels with unique rewards, encouraging us to seek out the toughest opponents. There are probably a few more things that the RDR remake could have upgraded. I would be happy to see your ideas, so let me know in the comments below what you think about it. I really can't wait for the official information about the Red Dead Redemption remake or remaster. I have high hopes that all of this is not a false alarm and that Rockstar is really working on this project. And as I mentioned, I really hope that the refreshed version of RDR won't be another crap like the defective edition of Trilogy, and that this time Rockstar will put more effort into this game. Before we wrap up, I want to thank to all my patrons for supporting my work. As always, make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video, and if you're not my subscriber yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be updated about my next videos. Have a great day, everyone, and see you in the next one.